shit.
Morning guys, how you going? It's day 2 out here in the canning. I think it's a little sandy desert at the moment. Now I met a few people yesterday on the road and they were just amazed to see me out here all by myself. They asked me what is it that I have to keep me safe, and it's not the first person that's asked me that, so I thought I'd make this quick video to go through a few things with you. So obviously I keep a Spottrack up on my shoulder. These are really good because it basically just sends a GPS signal onto a website, and people back home can just watch progress through the desert or wherever else you're going. So if you're hiking or mountain bike riding, whatever the case might be, or on a boat, they can just see where you're at. Now if you stop for any reason, you can just press the OK button. Okay, and that way that last spot they get is a little green tick. And obviously if you're in trouble, you need help, you can flick the SOS button here, or if you're just broken down and it's not an emergency, you can just flick the I need a hand button here. So it's a really good device. They are pretty expensive to buy, and I think it costs $30 or $40 a month as a subscription. So I just rented this from Oz Satellite Rentals in Melbourne. That sits on my shoulder. On my waist I have a little utility belt, which you might have seen me wearing. Okay, in that I've just got a Leatherman, which I use every day. I feel naked without it. In this pouch here I also carry a beacon. So this has just been, you buy this once out, there's no registration or ongoing fees. It was $350. It's got, so when you activate it, it's got a flashing strobe in the top, so at night time people will be able to find your position, which is really good. And you basically just register your details with Maritime Safety Australia. So if that gets activated, they can bring the beacon up on their screen and it'll tell them all the details about me. I pretty much copied and pasted my stage notes for this trip, so they should know roughly on the approximate dates where I'm at in the deserts in Australia. In this pouch I also carry a spare bandage and just some lip balm, because your lips get pretty chafed out here riding all day every day. So that's in that pouch. And the pouch I just bought from an Aussie Disposals or something like that, and it was like $20. And that all sits there nice and neat. Always make sure my zips are forward, so if I'm riding, those zips are facing forward, so I can, if I needed to access that, I could really quickly. First aid kit over here, I'll go through that in a minute. I'll open that one up. But a few other things I have is I have a sat phone. Again, I hired this from Oz Satellite Rentals. They're a Melbourne-based company, ozsatelliterentals.com.au. If you want to rent any of that stuff. I also carry a lead lenser torch with fresh batteries, so I don't use this in camp to look around. But this shines a light beam up into the sky, pretty bright. So if you're stuck for whatever reason and people are looking for you, you can flick that up into the sky, and they should be able to see that beam of light shooting up into the sky. So that's a really handy little tool. Now this is a bit of an argumentative thing, but I carry a drone as well. Now I know it's not a safety device, but it actually has helped me in the past, where a few times I've been hiking up in Kakadu and I've lost my way and I've been in a gorge, so I've sent the drone up into the sky and found a landmark and been able to find the river, for example, and find my way back to the river. Again, also in the Great Vic Desert, I lost the track, and there's a few different arms of the track, left and right, so I just sent the drone up into the sky, flew it out for about 1,500 meters and found the main track, and I was able to find my way again. So that has actually saved my skin a few times. What else? I also carry my phone, AIMA maps. Up on the dash, I've just got my UHF radio duct taped to a phone holder, and I've also got Garmin GPS. Right, a Garmin GPS under that. Now I don't use the GPS because it's not the best quality, and I'm doing pretty well with HEMA maps on my app on my phone, but if for whatever reason my phone did break, I could just revert back to my GPS. That's a bit of a backup for me. And the UHF radio in channel 40 on the canning sits up there. And let's just go through this first aid kit. So the first aid kit is pretty comprehensive. Okay, it's not too bulky. It's actually quite soft. So if I did land on it, I wouldn't it act like it has a bit of a cushion for me. In the first aid kit. All right, so I've unwrapped all the bandages and they're all just sitting there loose. So if I need them in a hurry, I don't need to worry about unpackaging them. So they just sitting there like that. It's got a CPR kit, some scissors. I've added an extra couple of alcohol wipes, things like that. If I graze my skin or get an abrasion or something, I can clean it up nicely. More skin cleaning wipes there. I don't even know what this is. Adhesive tape. It's got triangle bandages, normal bandages, the foil blankets. And it's also got instructions on how to use all this stuff as well, which is really good. So there's a little booklet, Survival First Aid in brief. So make sure you familiarise yourself with that. The first aid kit came from a company called Volvo First Aid. They're located up in New South Wales and they sponsored me the kit. Thankfully I haven't had to use it, but it actually is a really handy, good sized kit, especially for if you're on a motorbike. In the back of this kit, I've got some painkillers, some tramadol. I keep a brand new lighter in there, just in case I need to sterilise something or whatever. I just don't think you can ever have enough lighters, because I keep a lighter in just about everything. Also in the back of this kit, I've added myself some quick clot gauze. So if I'm bleeding heavily, if I come across someone who's bleeding heavily, you can just throw that in the wound and it'll clot the blood real quick. Also just a grunt tie down strap, which I can use as a tourniquet if I ever need that. Antiseptic relief cream and some Nurofen, some Panadol, just in case you need anything there. So that all goes in the back nice and neat. Packs away quite well. I've also got some saline drips in there if I get something in my eye. So yeah, all in all, that's the first aid kit. That's the beacon, spot tracker. Can't think of anything else I've forgotten. Oh, and one more thing, last but not least. So that's Survival First Aid. They've got a Facebook page, Instagram account. If you're going to go do a trip like this, these guys are really good. Survival First Aid is the company. Speak to Jordan there. He should be able to look after you, but so far I've found their first aid kit really, really good, and thank fuck I haven't had to use it. Thank God I haven't had to use it. Now, last night in camp, I was told stories about the canning and about the wild dogs. So last night in camp, I was sound asleep and I heard some sniffing around the outside of my tent. And sure enough, I got up this morning, there's a whole bunch of footprints. So the dogs have been sniffing around my tent, sniffing around my gear. Thankfully, I put everything up on my bike so they didn't run off with my boots or anything like that. So the last bit of my survival kit, my emergency kit, is my trusty axe. Now this is going to sleep next to my bed from now on every night. So I don't want those little buggers coming up and stealing all my gear. This axe has been with me since the beginning. It's lightweight, it's Gerber. It's actually saved my skin one time out in Kakadu. I lost the track, I couldn't cross a billabong. I had to cut a track through the jungle until I found a bottleneck in the billabong. So thankfully this was strapped to my motorbike and I was able to use that to cut a track through the jungle. So it's also got this little hand saw in the back, a bit of a gimmick. but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that just clicks in there like that. Otherwise, that's all the gear I take with me to stay alive out here. And obviously if I break my leg in a ditch and I'm there overnight, I want this next to me to fend off those little buggers, those wild dogs, because it's me or them out there and I might be eating dingo kebabs. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're going to go out on a trip like this, take a beacon, take a Spottrack up, let your friends and family know where you're going, and most of all, stay upright. Cheers.